I have huge news.
Huge
Yeah,
news.
I know, right? I have big
Ooh,
news.
hold up. Let me hit you with the big, huge news music stinger. Big news is also huge news. News isn't always news, but sometimes it's big and sometimes it's huge.
Don't feel like watching movies, so I'll watch people guess them instead. I don't know how it goes. I think it starts with your show.
Yeah, it was really good, dude. That it was perfectly timed. It was catchy, and I enjoyed had a good bass line. So
Could never do it again.
over the years, you guys have had discussions about certain films that a lot of people have seen. And I have recently seen a film that you guys, I know for a fact, have seen. And in previous years, I have not been able to partake in the conversation. And I might have even employed some kind of defense mechanism during that time where I pretended to be checked out or better than it or being sarcastically replying the entire time. But now I can finally add something to the conversation about a Halloween-themed movie that my wife chose as part of our we each choose a single Halloween movie each year, which is a tradition I'm forcing her to do even though she doesn't really want to. And so her pick, a movie she also has not seen, is, ladies and gentlemen, Beetlejuice. Have you guys seen this?
Oh,
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Dude, you just saw the magic that is like the 5 minutes of Michael Keaton in Beetlejuice?
Okay, great point, Joe. Yes, I did, and I have many thoughts on this film.
Oh, I'm excited. Oh man, Steve is on the edge of his seat because he has opinions.
Oh, I can't wait. I hope we
Well,
have a good, jovial conversation with both agreements and
I'm just
disagreements.
excited that you are an adult man who
Well,
has
thank
never
you.
seen Beetlejuice.
Yeah,
and
how
now-
exciting.
And now we get to have
Yeah,
a
fresh.
conversation about it.
Ooh,
I can't wait.
let's throw some more context.
That's what I'm
onto
excited about.
I want to put some context icing on our flavor pie.
Ooh, great. Let's open the cabinet.
Elliott is a Michael Keaton fan because he loves the first Batman.
Yeah.
do.
Loves the first Batman.
Deeply.
So he's going into Beetlejuice loving first Batman era Michael Keaton. We have to have
Absolutely.
that on the pie.
I
Very
mean,
true.
can we talk about how Beetlejuice is basically like a timeless, like it's just a good movie, and everything else has something for everyone in it. But as long as it's like a good movie, I think that's everyone finds something to like about Beetlejuice. And I've yet to meet someone who's like, I don't like Beetlejuice at all.
Interesting.
You know, it's a phrase I've maybe
Um,
never heard.
Yeah, that's very interesting
Elliott,
to
are
hear
you
you
going
guys
to say that
that.
phrase?
No, I'm not going to, but I want to throw a little more context seasoning back on y'all's pizza pies. When
Ooh,
was the
okay.
last
Love it, love it, love it.
time you guys actually watched Beetlejuice?
I'm going to say like 2 years ago.
2 years?
Within
Okay, fairly
5.
Or
recent.
maybe a year.
Within 5?
ago.
Okay, nice. Okay,
Yeah,
and is
yeah.
that about regular?
Yeah.
You guys do it once every few years? You'll kind of
I
throw
watch
it
it quite a bit. As a matter of fact, the last time I watched it, dude, was we watched a work print version of it with like deleted scenes and like
Oh, cool.
weird music cues that were not Danny Elfman songs.
Like
from
not
other-
quite like color corrected scenes and stuff
Exactly.
like that really
Nice.
show like the bones of a movie.
Yeah, it looked like a
Yeah.
big, like you're watching like a rough print of it in a screening.
Nothing
room.
like, dude, every single movie, like anything that you think is like the best movie on the planet, you see it in that Bones stage and you're like, how does anybody
gonna work?
ever make a movie?
Like, how do the exceptives go? Perfect, keep going, keep making it like that.
Yeah. Yes,
They
we'll
were
give
just
you
all
more
on
money.
cocaine and shit.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So the last time I watched it was like that, though.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I've got a very my family is very adamant about Halloween through Christmas. Like that time period
I
in
see.
the year is
Absolutely.
filled with those movies, those moments. So if I didn't sit down and watch Beetlejuice all the way through, I definitely like have caught parts of it over and over and over again while the family's been watching it.
Very interesting, Joe. I didn't even know the plot of this movie. I didn't get the general idea. I didn't know the arc. I didn't know
How
the
fun.
I
What
barely
a
knew.
treat.
I figured it was such a treat, dude. Grace was in the same boat, so we both went in basically blind. And I can't speak for her, but I would say she probably thinks the same thing. I was blown away and loved every second of this movie. Guys, I don't know if you guys have heard of this movie, Beetlejuice. It is fantastic.
Give us your rundown. Tell us why you loved it.
Okay, I will. And then I have some notes at the end, if that's okay.
I would love to hear
That's
those
fine. No
notes.
movie's perfect.
Right. Okay, perfect. First of all, I was entertained from start to finish. I don't think there was a single moment where I wasn't having a great time. Visually, absolutely incredible. Tim Burton at its best. I mean, the creepiness, the unnervingness of all the little claymation things just added a certain tone to it that wasn't
What was your
necessarily
reaction
scary.
when you first saw this?
The stretching
Yeah.
faces.
So that I've seen like pictures of, like clips and stuff, but I had no idea what it actually like the context of what they were doing, or the fact that, spoiler alert, they're basically trying to scare people out of their house. Catherine O'Hara, who's
Whereas
fantastic.
I don't remember a time in my life where Beetlejuice wasn't like a part of my life.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
Yeah, like seeing the pop culture references were like, that's Beetlejuice, that's Beetlejuice, that's Beetlejuice. But for you, you've gone through your whole life not seeing one of Michael Keaton's most perfect roles.
Yeah.
Perfect roles.
And I like that I, like Joe was saying, love him in Batman and just chose to never expand on that beyond maybe Batman Returns occasionally. And
Multiplicity.
Multiplicity. I was gonna say, like, for real, it was Multiplicity. And Jack Frost.
Yes.
But
sure.
yeah, so excellent. The Danny Elfman score is incredible. I thought it was hilarious throughout. Michael Keaton's performance is unbelievable. Like truly cracked me. Yeah. Notes wise, two major notes. I understand Beetlejuice to be a demon. Is that correct?
Yes.
I do believe it was still a little heavy on the amount of immediate sexual assault.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of 80s comedy in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like very like, whoa, and it keeps
Yeah.
going with it. But once you get past that, and even some of his lines, of the way he delivers every line is hilarious, and so there's nothing you can do about that. My only other note, and this is the only one, is the movie felt to me like they were like, we need to end this movie in 2 minutes. Like it was like the very end, the thing, she rides in on the thing and it eats Beetlejuice.
The sandworm.
And then
from
that's
Uranus.
it.
And then that's it.
And then that's it. Everything is fine.
But they don't show her, to my recollection, ever getting on the snake, or like there's no scene with the she just sees it.
There's the scene where Adam steps out into the netherworld.
Adam.
And they see the like sandworms, and at one point Beetlejuice says that he's like afraid of sandworms, like he hates them.
I see.
So
okay.
I think that's how I connect it, is that like she remembered that he was afraid of the sandworms, and then she saw that they were like right outside her door. It's very strange.
It felt like a rushed ending.
They go to Saturn. They go to Saturn.
Yeah.
It's Saturn where the sandworms are. It's
Really?
Saturn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Beetlejuice.
don't say it 2 more times or get sexually assaulted.
I know, right? And get sexually assaulted.
You didn't take issue with him wanting to marry a 13-year-old
Yeah,
girl?
that's pretty bad too.
Oh, I did. I categorized that under the sexual assault.
Yeah.
But the marrying of Winona Ryder and the forcing of it is definitely dark too. But it also reminded me very much of Bowser and like Princess Peach and all that, which is also weird.
Okay,
but not the age difference.
I don't know if this is not a defense of the creative choices, I don't think, but I do think because of the joviality of the movie and how much you end up loving Beetlejuice as a character, it is very important that these very like deplorable things happen to remind you that he is a big piece of fucking shit.
Bad person.
Yeah, he's a big bad asshole.
Yeah, he's not good.
No.
But he's so peak Keaton. He's peak Keaton.
It's peak everybody.
Nice,
It's peak everybody, I think.
that you're like fall in love with the character that is Beetlejuice, and it's actually a good commentary on all the bullshit we're probably dealing with now in society.
Preach,
Like,
son.
Joe, that's a really good point. But Beetlejuice is talked about a lot. Like Michael Keaton's portrayal of Beetlejuice is like a timeless. Like I feel like Jim Carrey took notes when he like watched
100%.
that.
It's like a precursor of The Mask, right? Like
Totally.
it's definitely
like he paved the way for, oh shit, you can break the rules and like jump around the set and like lose your mind, and people will like respond well to that. And we love Keaton shit, but like you mentioned, Elliot, that Catherine O'Hara, you didn't even know Catherine O'Hara was in it, probably.
No, I know I do.
But you love her, right? You've
I
loved
do,
her in
yeah, of
everything.
course.
Schitt's Creek and all the Christopher Guest movies and stuff. Isn't she fucking great too? Like everyone's in their A game. Everyone.
The big guy, the big boy that does the interior design.
He's the voice of the mayor, Glenn Shaddix. He's the mayor in Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I love this.
But it makes
It's like
sense.
when I
Ortho.
Otho.
Is it
Oh,
Otho
yeah.
or Ortho?
Ortho, I think, is the guy from He-Man. Or is that Orko?
That's a whale.
It's Otho in Beetlejuice.
Yeah. And he's a horrible piece of crap in that movie too.
Yes,
I
he
always
is.
remember him being the, like, in my mind, because I was a kid and I probably didn't equate all of Beetlejuice's bad things to his ha-has. I was like, Otho's the bad guy. I don't like that guy.
Yeah.
Right, because he's perpetuating this weird New York art culture out in the middle of the country, and it just doesn't work there.
Throughout the movie, there were so many moments in which we said to each other, this is the craziest movie we've ever seen.
Yes.
Especially when there's a full scene that is just daylight come and we run.
Isn't that an insane scene?
Yeah, it's insane because it keeps going and going and going. And we're like, this is still happening. Yeah. And all the comedic actors in that are so good. Yeah, it's a really wonderful movie. So that's
Robert
my review.
Goulet, famous singer Robert Goulet in that scene.
Goulet. Yeah.
Goulet.
And then my movie is eventually going to be Cabin in the Woods, which Grace is nervous about watching.
Ooh.
Fucking dude, you
That's
guys
so
picked
fun.
two fucking
Bangers.
next level movies. Are you kidding
Bangers.
me?
We're out next year. Like, I don't know what other Halloween movies I'm going to be able to get into before the door. Like, she's going to be like, no. If Cabin in the Woods is too scary, the tradition's over.
Do you know anything about Cabin in the Woods?
I've seen it. Yeah, I love it. I love that movie.
She has never seen it. Okay.
That's
she's
awesome.
never seen it.
She'll be
So
fine.
we could nerd out over Cabin in the Woods then. Man, that movie's so
What's
fucking
a
good.
movie that like terrified her that she's like, I'll never watch that again?
I don't know, actually. I mean, Jurassic Park.
Did you guys see Megan?
Pretty low bar.
Yeah, very low.
You guys watched Megan?
Yeah, I like
You guys
Megan a
both
lot.
did? She saw Megan?
Yeah,
Was
she saw Megan.
Was she like, that's terrifying and I never want to see it again?
No, she liked Megan, as I recall.
I think
Yeah.
maybe
It's like
we might.
It's kind of, you just gotta get her in. You gotta sit her down and get her.
She'll think Cabin in the Woods is so damn creative and cool. She'll love it.
I think so. Yeah, I think she'll really appreciate it once she gets over the sort of. I think there's some jump scares in it, but I don't think it'll be too bad. I don't think it'll be anything though like Beetlejuice, because last year her choice was Nightmare Before Christmas, which we'd also never seen. So I feel like I'm really getting caught up on a lot of movies that you guys have talked about, and I feel like I can finally say that I can nod when you guys are like, yeah, Beetlejuice.
I feel, I'm not a big, like, I can watch Nightmare Before Christmas, and I think I appreciate it a little bit more in my adult years, but as a kid, I didn't really get the appeal.
Oh,
I didn't either.
Dude, that movie felt like it was made for me when that was coming out. And I remember being so excited because it was like, I loved stop motion animation so much. Like, there's some really cool stop motion animated stuff out there. And the fact that Tim Burton was doing like a Christmas twisted stop motion animated, like creepy thing, it felt like I was the target audience, like immediately.
Yeah,
Here's
you're the demo.
Fact about that movie that I've recently been hit in the face with at React. I just did a Guess the Christmas Movie by the VHS cover art
Oh, that's
video.
fun.
It was really fun. I had some fun with it. But there happened to be a couple of youngins in it, 16-year-old girls, and they swiftly told me, 16-year-old girls today, how sexy Jack Skellington is, without irony. Just like, oh my God, Jack is so sexy. And I was like, huh. And then they also educated me on the concept of Pete Davidson being ugly hot.
Dude, I was about to say Jack Skellington has the Pete Davidson kind of appeal of like, oh, you're skinny.
And then they
angular.
threw Michael Cera into the same category, which I thought was very interesting.
As Jack
It's
Skellington?
As ugly hot, like they call it ugly hot. I don't.
I
Is
get
it because
it. I mean,
these seem like fixable, flawed men,
I don't know.
and the pursuit of fixing these flawed men is like
I
attractive?
don't know if a 16-year-old wants to fix flawed men. I don't know. They think
Yeah,
they just might straight up be like, I see that, then I like it.
yeah. And you can't
Weird.
forget that all 16-year-olds are dumb as rocks. So
Yeah, that's true. Real stupid.
doesn't matter. Yeah.
I was a big idiot when I was 16. I'm a big idiot now.
You're like
such an
three
idiot.
16-year-olds.
I barely got smarter.
Yeah. Yeah, you're like 3 16-year-olds.
Yeah, about that. Yeah, you're about that.
In a potato bag.
Oogie boogie.
Get him out. Get him out.
So wait, we need to talk more about Beetlejuice.
Yeah. I got so many more things to say about it.
Yeah,
I love the football team. I love
Yes.
How dumb they
I want
are.
to watch. So dumb. The old lady that they call Coach.
I don't think we
and,
survived that crash.
Yeah, that's very funny and so dark. And it was just like the moments that got me laughing were frequent, but they got me laughing very hard. And then there were other moments where I was like, this is a different era of movies. And I start thinking about the sequel, and I was like, I don't know how they're gonna do.
I'm scared. I'm
Dude.
scared.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about the sequel that's pretty interesting. There were 2 attempts at a Beetlejuice sequel before.
One was like
this
a
one.
Hawaiian vacation
right.
getaway.
Like, I think they were like, well, Beetlejuice was a hit. And they were like, well, you got to make another one, right? And he was like, I don't want to make another one. And they were like, okay, but we'll give you this much money and you could do whatever the fuck you want. And so he wrote he pursued the Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian concept for the sequel to that movie. And it was essentially a throwback to those like beach blanket party movies from the 50s.
Yeah.
And that Burton like loved a lot. And he was going to do like a bunch of weird beach movie like shit, like terrible green screen Beetlejuice surfing on a surfboard and stuff. And there was going to be like a surf competition, and there's like a Hawaiian god that he like battles.
It's such a it sounds like it was a Tim Burton FU. He's like, I don't want to do it, but if you make me, this is what I'm going to make.
And then I think he was offered Batman and was like, oh shit, I'm going to do that. And then abandoned a Beetlejuice, I think.
But I think he put one of the scenes from the Beetlejuice Goes Hawaii, and I'm making this up, but it's plausible, into Batman when the toxic chemicals are being dispersed. And it cuts to like an old, like they're on the beach getting the thing, and the little smile pops up.
Yeah, he got to do a little bit of his beach thing. That's funny. That's interesting.
Before Quentin Tarantino had his feet, Tim Burton had
his
Hawaiian 50s movies. Okay,
he had the beach.
see, look at me engaging in this conversation.
Quick momentary tangent to just say the fucking Prince Bat Dance song and music video is madness.
It's insane.
Madness that
I need to
he
rewatch
was
that.
tasked to do that.
I have one more thing I want to bring up about Beetlejuice.
He's gross.
Yeah, he's gross for sure. Hang on. Oh, so I love that you guys were thinking that like this is simultaneously like one of the funniest movies we've seen, but also one of the weirdest movies we've ever seen.
That's correct.
And isn't that incredible that like there was a time where a movie like that could even go out into theaters, let alone be a hit movie?
Yeah.
It makes me wonder why. I mean, we know the answer why, but how awesome would it be if we had directors taking like big chances like that and doing like non-franchised bonkers one-off movie ideas?
I think it's coming back.
You think so? What feels like that?
And it may be in like a streaming way. It may not be a theatrical thing. I think the theatrical world is a little different now, but I do feel like, and I think the numbers might back it up a little bit, but I do feel like they overshot the moon a little bit after Endgame and Infinity War. They thought people were still going to be as invested with these worlds moving forward, and I don't think we are, and I don't think they're making as quality stuff, and I think they're starting to see that. I do think the A24s of the world and a lot of the things that have been popping up on streaming, like whether or not you liked it or not, but like the Talk to Me's or the No One's Gonna Save You's, and Barbarian, like I think these things are being made, and I think it's going to be a cyclical thing. I think we're coming back.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree, but I feel
Barbie's
like
one of them.
As far as like A24 is concerned, so that's interesting because that's like the first example of like a non, because you're talking about like the horror genre is like where directors get to kind of play around.
I did say a lot of horror, but I could even throw out other things like Claws, that animated Christmas movie that came out recently, which is fucking awesome and independent. Yeah. And like, I think they're happening. We're just too spread out. The thing about the 1980s is that there was less. So when the cream rose to the top, it was like, here's this bubble that popped and everybody experiences it together. Now, like the vat of cream is so fucking big that when bubbles are popping, they're popping in like Venn diagram groups of people. It takes a while, and it takes something super big like Barbie to really have everybody experience it together. Culture is not also experiencing culture together anymore.
Sure. But I also feel like it's like they're trying to make movies really big and seem like they're world building and franchise starting like big ideas and things like that. And I think something like Beetlejuice is like such a small story with like a small universe too, seemingly. Mm-hmm. Like we get to see kind of like the world of the dead or whatever, but it all feels like we're just on sets. Like we're never like on any locations really. It feels like it's such a small, it's like a small big movie, like where it doesn't need to be like a multiversal like 7 plot lines going on kind of thing. And I think movies are trying to like they're all like subtext now, like Talk to Me was like a addiction allegory, like a very obvious addiction allegory, and it's like, all right, well, there's a lot of those. What happened in the movies that are just like, what the fuck is Beetlejuice about? I guess it's like appreciate your life or something. What is the Beetlejuice theme? What's the theme of Beetlejuice?
It's instead of the occupants wanting the ghosts out, it's the ghosts wanting the occupants out. So it's just a reversal on the horror.
It's a reversal of an exorcism. Yeah, like an exorcist story.
Yeah, the bio-exorcist.
He is a bio-exorcist, which is
that
an amazing term.
I'm sold. Because we're like bio-exorcists, and we were like, oh, we get it.
Let's buckle up. Let's buckle up, honey.
Babe, let's buckle up. This is gonna be
okay. We got a bio-exorcist. I guess I just miss I think I've talked about this movie called Mandibles. Have I told you guys about this movie?
Yeah, is that the Fly one?
The Fly movie. It's like this French movie about these like 2 idiots that stumble upon a giant fly, and then like the movie is about them like doing shit with that giant fly. And it's just this small little movie, but it's really funny and bizarre and strange. And it felt to me like one of those movies that like they really take a chance on and just kind of like make it and go like, fuck it, let's see what happens. But it's rare that you see something like, because Michael Keaton, when Beetlejuice came out, was like kind of a star.
Right, but that was the vehicle that was being made back then. Right? Like at the end of the day, Tim Burton was a star too, or was a rising star. So it wasn't that big of a... Those were the vehicles. Unfortunately, there are bigger vehicles that are flashy now, but I don't think it means that those other things aren't being made. They're just not... They're not the things that we're seeing in the theaters. They just...
I just want to see something like Beetlejuice now. Something as weird and funny and imaginative as Beetlejuice. Like I can't even think of a movie.
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
But I can't compare that to Beetlejuice. Like I want to, like that movie is like perfect and stands on its own as like a really cool drama action.
It sounds to me.
I'm talking about like a big wacky, not take itself too seriously Beetlejuice type movie.
I think you just want comedy back. That's the one thing that we're missing, is that comedies aren't being made. There's no wacky character comedies anymore. There's no there's really no Apatow movie comedies, which were just like salt of the earth people like improving. There's no Will Ferrell character movies, no Mike
Yeah,
Myers.
'cause
Like
those movies like bomb now.
Adam Sandler is the closest thing, but like nobody, we've talked about this. Nobody's taken like the comedy rail or like taken the train on the comedy rails. And I think comedy is definitely, at least in movie form, missing for sure.
Yeah.
You would think too, like I remember there being a bunch of studies or whatever about how culturally when things get really sad, there's an uprise of comedies. Like
It's about to, we're gonna have a big old uprising.
Yeah, so like you'd think right now there'd be like a few more comedies because like I think it was like after 9/11 Zoolander, like it was the height of that whole like type of movie. Yeah. And they do really well in times of stress, but I think I'm sure there are a billion factors as to why there's not so many right now.
There is this I think I don't know. It's definitely worth discussing, and there's a lot of interesting ways that conversation can go in that realm. There is that movie Dix the musical or something.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Does this look like the Bears?
Riding
it does.
Yes, it does. Very good. For those listening to this, Joe's shirt has a bear riding a
bicycle.
A bicycle.
Oh, look at it go.
He just made it look like the bear is riding across the screen. It's very cute. YouTube.com/.
Wait. Watch him do a wheelie.
Whoa, look at him go.
Can he flip? Can he do a flip?
Yeah.
Just take the shirt off and spin it.
Zing, zing.
But, yeah, Dix the Musical is an A24, like, gay comedy musical.
Oh, with what's his name? The guy on the street?
Yes. Wait. Is Billy Eichner in that? No, Billy Eichner did a different one that also
He
bombed.
did a different gay comedy. That definitely bombed, yeah.
Wait, did
that
Dix
one's
bomb?
called Bros or something? No, Bros.
Bro.
What was the one with Billy Eichner?
Oh, I think you got it.
Was it called Bros?
I think you might have nailed it.
But that movie bombed, unfortunately, and he blamed the homophobic Hollywood audience.
Let's see.
He blamed
here.
homophobia as the reason why that movie didn't work out. But I think that, like Joe was saying, like the Judd Apatow, like slice of life, this is how people talk to each other, but they're funny thing is like over. Like people do it on TikTok now and they do it better and it's shorter and funnier. And it doesn't really work in movies anymore. This Dix the Musical thing, though, is interesting because a musical is not easy to make. And a musical movie is certainly not easy to make either. And the fact that it's largely LGBTQ plus focused film, the gay agenda.
The gay agenda. And are you guys into
hell of a cast?
Are you guys into also the musical of Joker 2? Because people seem to be quite not wanting it. They say, "Oh, it's gonna be musical. I'm out. Oh, I'm not gonna watch a musical."
And also,
which is very funny to see.
Are saying they don't like Lady Gaga.
Wait, is it really a musical?
Yeah,
it's totally a musical.
It's a musical.
Is it really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix in a musical, The Joker 2.
I feel like
Follet Days. It's like a French title too. It seems like.
Are you guys
like
messing
kind
with
of
me?
No.
How did I not know this?
Dude, that's really happening. It's a musical.
Yeah. And there's so many pictures of the.
And Lady Gaga is Harley Quinn, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
I knew that, but I didn't know. What?
Can I blow your mind with this part of it, Joe?
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I find subscriptions absolutely so annoying.
Me too,
for example,
me too.
I have a subscription for Bones. I have a subscription to letters that I get from fake dead people. You know how you forget about them all of a sudden? It's just running up your bank account and it's so annoying. Well, let me tell you about a membership that's not going to be a hassle, guys. There is a subscription for everything from Artisan Jerky to all those with streaming subscriptions. It feels like we've lost their value, saving time and money. Subscriptions only really make sense for stuff you use all the time on the same cadence, like razor blades. On the same cadence. That's an interesting way to put it. I guess what they're saying is that you use razors constantly, and so if you're going to have a subscription service for something, you should really have a subscription service for something that you're going to consistently use, so that you don't either have a whole collection of them that you're not going to go through, or if something maybe goes bad or whatever. And so something like Harry's is totally perfect for that. Subscriptions, like with Harry's, you get high quality German engineered blades right to your door, and every order saves you money compared to that big brand most guys are used to buying. You know who we're talking about. Get them as low as $2 per blade at harrys.com/valleycast. Harry's also has a very comfortable handle that feels really nice, and I've been using it nonstop. I think it's been like 4 weeks right now, and it's still so smooth. And obviously you might go, well, Elliot, you don't look like you shave. Well, let me tell you something. I have to shave in such a particular way to even have a remote chance of it looking like I don't have patchy facial hair, and Harry's helps a lot with that. It's a smooth shave. It shouldn't be rough on your wallet. The trial set's a $13 value for just $3 at harrys.com/valleycast. It includes a 5-blade German engineered razor, a weighted handle, like I said, foaming shave gel, and a travel cover for when you're on the go. Schedule delivery for refills as low as $2. That's half of what you pay for some other blades, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
They also have creams, washes, and lotions that'll keep your skin healthy and hydrated. They also smell really good. Blades made in their own factory in Germany that stay sharp. Guys who've tried it say their 8th shave is as sharp as their first. I've been using it for 6 weeks, and you know me, that's about the second, but I'm looking forward to the 8th shave very soon because it's sleek, it's ergonomic, it's a weighted handle, and it looks great in your bathroom, and it gives you precise control with each swipe. So, get a subscription that saves you time and money with Harry's. You can get started with a $13 trial set for just $3 at harrys.com/valleycast. That's harrys.com/valleycast for a $3 trial set. Thanks, everybody. And now, back to the show.
That's good. Now let me blow your mind. I'll blow your mind now. I did a Do Women Know Man's Bodies quiz thing, and on my researching on the internet, I came up with this little fun fact that is connected to the thing that you just did. But this is not part of the ad read. They didn't get this. They didn't pay for this fact. How much stubble, if you shave regularly in your life, how many feet of stubble will you shave off your body by the time you're done?
Wow.
How many feet
of stubble are you going to shave off of your body by the time you're
much.
dead?
This is daily shaving?
Regularly shaving, yeah.
Why stubble? I'm confused on what constitutes
Because if
stubble.
you're regularly your face.
Okay, so you're just shaving. You're just
shaving your face. Yep.
Going down the sink. Those little specks. My favorite thing.
Those little specks. It's just
basically,
it's just the tip of your hair.
Stubble also becomes hair, so we could basically change the question to how long would your beard be if you never shaved once in your life?
Wow.
Go for it. Throw out a number.
You have a general number? Because I don't shave every day, so I don't know if I'd be part of that general number.
Well, no, like it's just saying how much hair does your face produce in a lifetime is pretty much the question.
Okay.
Whether or not you're shaving, because if you're not shaving, it's just growing.
So I'm thinking about the top hair too.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it took like a year to be like shoulder length.
Okay.
So, but that's not from shaved.
Yeah, and
So
that's
if I-
hair. That it doesn't grow differently. The facial does
don't know.
not. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know at all.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm gonna say an average lifetime, my beard would probably be like 1,500 feet.
What?
I love it.
Conservatively, 1,500 feet.
Just throwing it out there.
That's so fucking funny.
Is that like a quarter of a mile?
What if I live to be 200?
It's like you're the kid from the peanut butter experiment. Oh man, that's funny. Oh, man.
I was gonna say I think maybe 19 to 21 feet.
It's 27 feet.
Dang.
27 feet. And the other fact that came on the back
This is
end
just
of that.
stubble?
This would be your beard. How long your beard would be, yeah. But if you're regularly shaving,
So would that be different than your hair, the top of your head hair?
maybe. Well, yes, it would. Because if you never cut your hair your entire life, that starts way earlier than when you're starting your stubbles. Stubbles comes later.
Oh, I guess I wasn't thinking about that when you start
great
to
point,
grow
Joe.
hair.
That's
on
a
your
very
face.
good
Stubbles
point.
comes later. They also said that you spend 3,350 hours of your life shaving.
I beg
There's
to
got to
differ.
be a better way. There's just
Harry's.com
got to be.
/Felix.
Speaking of Harry's,
That's a very fun factoid, Joe. Thank you for
that's
that.
crazy.
Who knows? Could all be wrong. Got it from the internet.
Yeah,
Do
and plus,
your
like, people,
pubes-
I want to say people's hair length probably grows at different. Like
Oh, there's
Yeah.
so many. There's so many factors.
there's so many factors.
There's so many factors.
Do we have a factor sponsorship?
Uh,
Do we have factors?
Fun factors.
Okay, so I wanna present you guys with something, and then I want to say goodbye.
Okay.
So I'm hoping this takes at least 2 hours to talk about.
yeah, we'll hit our mark.
Okay. Bye.
But recently I got into a discussion. Elliot, I don't know how much that you can participate in this
It's
conversation,
fine. I've participated enough.
but but I think Joe might have a little something to say about it. But Elliot, have you ever seen the movie Monster Squad?
Nope.
That's a Halloween movie you could watch.
Yeah,
Monster
okay.
Squad is a lot of fun. It's kids on bikes versus the Universal monsters. And if you were shocked at all by some of the verbiage in Beetlejuice, then you better watch out with Monster Squad because they throw a hard F in there at you, and it's a kids movie.
A hard F?
Anyway,
Like the word?
yes.
Hard F, and they call a little girl, like a 6-year-old, like straight up to her face while like holding her face, like really like aggressively.
Like a nightmare.
Give me the amulet, you bitch.
Yeah.
And she's like
Whoa.
6.
No,
she's
that would scare
screaming.
me.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I was talking to some friends about this, and we have one friend. No, actually, there's a few friends in particular that believe that Monster Squad is a better movie than Goonies.
It's incorrect.
And I fully think that's incorrect.
It's Monster Squad isn't a good movie.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, Elliot.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Elliot's back to nodding. I love it.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Monster Squad is a fun
Yeah.
movie. Monster Squad is a fun movie. Monster Squad is a
Yeah.
classic movie, but Monster
Yeah.
Squad isn't a good movie.
Monster Squad is one of those movies that's like, if you didn't watch it when you were young, you watch that movie as an adult, having never seen it, you'd probably be like, okay, I get it, but that wasn't great.
Yep. I
And,
really don't have a lot to say about it.
It
Like
blew
that-
my mind though, because Goonies is like almost perfect.
I think what we have to also, there's a meta conversation. I will interject now. Thank
Yes.
you. There
Yes.
is a
Got
tendency
him.
for people to say these days incredibly wrong, outlandish things
Yeah.
to intentionally incite emotion. In fact, a lot of the algorithms that we consume unconsciously online are designed to do just that. So maybe these people are don't even believe themselves. Maybe they're doing it just to, maybe this is them like messing with you. Have you thought about confronting them?
Oh, interesting. Well, I mean, it doesn't really it doesn't bother me beyond the conversation, which is how I'm able to live a normal life, I think. So, somehow, like a little bit of a normal life, other than the people who like super obsess about those types of opinions and take it into their personal lives and are emotionally
Yeah.
abusive to their loved ones and internet strangers. But I'd like to think that if they are fucking with me, then fine. I mean, obviously, then that would make way more sense than believing that Monster Squad is better than Goonies. But it's just
You
like
know
crazy.
when you were growing up and you would have like that friend that like really wanted to do something and really believed that they were good at it. Let's say you had a friend in theater that was like, I'm an actor. And when you saw them act, you were like,
Uh-oh.
oh man, like somebody should tell
Yeah.
you not to, but you're going to keep doing it. All of those kids are in Monster Squad. All of the kids that were good at acting are in Goonies.
Nice.
Dude, that's so funny. That's so funny because one of the best things about Monster Squad is, of course, Stan Winston's fantastic work on the Universal Monsters, his portrayal of the Universal Monsters. Like, Stan Winston is a legendary visual effects guy who did like all the Terminator stuff and like Predator and stuff like that.
Yep.
But other than
And Lord
that,
of the
yeah,
Rings.
man, the actors are pretty bad in that movie.
It's really bad.
It is. It is the kids that like really thought they were gonna make it, but then there were the ones that like really had it. And the ones that really had it went to Goonies.
And most of them, like god dang, let's go to the Goonies. Let's talk about the Goonies cast for a second, right?
Okay.
Corey Feldman goes on, becomes part of the Corys, has an amazing 80s career,
Absolutely.
has somewhat of a backwards 90s career and falls off. There's a tragic Hollywood story there, but he mattered for 20 years.
Yes, he
Okay? Josh Brolin.
We'll blow past the tragic Hollywood.
Josh
Josh
Brolin.
Brolin.
Thanos.
Absolutely
I'm
transcended
pretty sure
Goonies.
Oscar nominated. Still around. Martha
Men in Black
Plimpton
4.
disappeared for a little bit, but then came back and was the lead of a hit television show, like maybe a couple of them for quite a while. Sean Astin, Sam Gam, like he's in everything. He still matters. We love Sean Astin. Everything,
Sloth.
everywhere, all at once.
Ken Key Kwan.
Yeah,
Do
just
Sloth.
won a fucking Oscar.
Yeah.
Do sloth now.
And Ramsey.
Sloth, dead, but
Ramsey, dead.
but still
Joey Pants. Joey Pants is alive.
Oh, Joey Pantalone.
Yeah, he was.
Short circuit guy.
Yeah.
Is that
Matrix?
No.
No.
Ki Hu Kwan. Ki Huey Kwan.
All right,
Won an
Kevin,
Oscar.
cut
He's
that out.
back. We all love him. He's America's hug. That's what he is. He's America's hug.
Yeah.
And
I
like,
want to hug that man real bad.
fucking
Jeff Cohen,
Jeff
Hollywood
Cohen,
lawyer. In
Hollywood lawyer.
fact,
We worked with
Kwan's
him.
Lawyer. He worked with.
That's right.
Yeah.
Everybody in that.
Carrie
Name
Green.
one-
Carrie Green disappeared.
She disappeared. Now name one motherfucker from Monster Squad.
It's
Couldn't
not
do it,
Joey
dude.
Pants.
I
Is it? Oh, it
couldn't.
is Joe Pantoliano. I can't.
I just can't.
I can't. Oh! I got one. Ah,
Oh, there is one, and he was in fucking
Uncle Rico. It's Uncle Rico.
Yep.
Oh,
Uncle Rico
interesting.
from Napoleon Dynamite.
Yep.
Even One-Eyed Willie had a beautiful future. He sailed off into the sunset. So
Yes, he did.
fictionally,
Aw,
he had a really good
wonderful.
ending too. Yeah.
That-
So
Let's
I
not
can
even
engage.
Don't even get me started about Steven Spielberg. I mean, come on.
Now, I say all of that with so much love for Monster Squad, but what a ridiculous statement to say it's better
It's
than
so
the Goonies.
ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I
So-
agree.
Also,
I-
Beetlejuice.
So this is what I want to ask
It's a good
our
movie.
audience.
That's a good movie.
I want to ask our audience this. What is your horror movie hot take?
Ooh.
Is it something like the Friday the 13th movies suck and they're not scary at all? Or is it something like Monster Squad is better than Goonies?
Hmm.
Do you guys have one off the top of your head?
Yeah,
No.
Sleepaway Camp does not deserve its cult status.
You don't think so?
I
That
just watched it
ending
with
is
Hayden
pretty
recently. That's it.
revolutionary.
That's it.
Yeah.
But also, if you watch the movie, the ending makes no sense with the rest of the movie.
Yeah, kind of not. That's it,
It part 2 is better than It Part 1, the new one.
What the fuck? You can't be telling the truth.
No, I 100%. Bill Hader, it was so much better.
Wow, you really think so, huh?
Absolutely not. Man, I still got it. Fucking nailed it.
Dude,
Wow.
put this motherfucker in Goonies.
Get
Put
me
him
in
in
Goonies.
He's convinced he's a good actor.
He's gonna make it.
You're gonna make it. I believe in you. All right. Well, Anything else, guys?
That was fun. I went to Coheed and Cambria concert recently. That was cool. You went to
Oh.
Run the Jewels. Was that
Oh.
cool?
Yeah, it was. And
I
Tenacious
went-
D opened for him for a second. That was pretty awesome.
Hell yeah.
Did they do a whole set, or they did a couple songs, or what they do?
We came in late, so we didn't see a bunch of them. But what they did do that was really cool is they had another act come out, and then Jack Black brought Run the Jewels on by doing like We Are the Champions, but like killing it, and like everyone going like We Are the, and then it kicks into Run the Jewels, and it was pretty great. It was
He's just
really
such a fucking showman, dude. That guy,
absolute like lightning, a ball of lightning.
like everyone in the room wants to see what he's gonna do.
Yeah. But Coheed and Cambria, I'm also very curious about.
Loved it.
I mean,
Very cool. The coolest moment of the night is we had like one of my friends hooked us up with tickets, and they were VIP tickets, which means they were $10
nice.
more, which means we got to go in like 15 minutes before everybody else and like get our spot in the standing only theater. But while hanging out, they came out pre-show, got on stage with some just like acoustic guitars, and they weren't like done up. They were just all in their casual clothes before what they would come out performing in. They're like, hey guys, what's up? Just gonna play a song for you. And they played a really cool acoustic version of Sweet Child of Mine.
No way, cool.
Yeah, it was super intimate and cool. And then they ended it and they're like, okay, see you in a second. They just walked off. It was great.
Wow, how fun.
Yeah.
That's great.
Dude, Claudio from Coheed and Cambria. Man, I don't think Coheed and Cambria, I realize, is a pretty niche band, and I don't know if everybody.
A little bit.
Very progressive rock, very like nobody's doing what they're doing, but also a very unique sound. The singer and the band, it sounded like a recording. It was fucking amazing, and he was jumping around like a madman, even though he's older. Like amazing performance. It was 10 out of 10. It's really good.
That's awesome, dude. I'm so glad it was good, because sometimes when a concert sucks, it's devastating on a level that's hard to describe.
Dude, I was scared because their sound is so unique, and because his sound is so unique. I was like, nobody can sing like that for 2 hours, and then he did, and it was
That's great.
I went to Fright Fest at Six Flags Magic Mountain, and I also went to Not Scary Farm, which I'm sure Kevin talked about already at great length. And I'm skipping Universal this year, but I will say in the rankings between Not Scary Farm and Fright Fest, for those of you that are on the fence or are trying to have a fun time having a theme park spooky adventure, I would say that Six Flags Fright Fest is the winner.
What?
No way, really?
Okay, context spice on the little pepperoni pizza here.
Yeah, can you give a little context spice?
Just, I don't know if people are familiar. Not all of our listeners live around Six Flags Magic Mountain, but it is a hilariously run
it's
down.
bad. It's a horrible theme park.
It's super sad.
It's
so
laughably sad and bad.
On a like accoutrement level.
Yes.
On a we're creating an environment and an experience level outside of sitting on really kick-ass roller coasters.
Yes.
While we were there was an ant infestation at the food like kiosks.
The most Six Flags.
So you couldn't buy like half of the food that they offered there. And which just proves how fucking awful they are. And we went to this barbecue spot.
It's amazing.
And they had ice cold mashed potatoes and gravy. With the thickest cut. I got a tri-tip sandwich, and the tri-tip was cut like that thick. And there were these giant chunks of tri-tip.
Delicious.
Like gigantic, unfathomable chunks of tri-tip in these sandwich. And I was like, whoa, this is bonkers. But the fucking mazes were really cool, man. It's almost like they don't care about the decaying theme park around it. They just put effort into the like Fright Fest thing. And they did way more, and there was way more effort and energy from the characters than any theme park horror experience.
I don't think I'm ever going to accept the term characters. And I combine words all the time.
Yeah, characters is very good. I will also the phrase the hungriest one makes dinner. Six Flags has something to prove, and they're gonna do everything they can to get you into that park.
I think
And
so.
good for them. I think that's
And
great.
honestly, if the only time I ever go to Six Flags is for Fright Fest, then good on them. You know, I would have never gone before, and I really enjoyed it. The mazes were very creative. They utilized the space very well. There was a bunch of really unique things happening in them, and it was just fucking awesome. I had a
Dude,
great fucking time.
Every time I go to Six Flags,
I know, it's so
time,
sad.
I'm like, you go to
you're like,
Universal, you go to
"God."
Disneyland, it's like they're obviously still like these family hubs. I would say that even like Universal, like non-family, like older people, like the Steves and Matt Robs of the world will go and just kind of go to hang out and be kind of older and nerd out on stuff. Six Flags is where dirty little teenage kids go to fuck.
Yeah,
it's
finger
so,
blast each other.
it's
on a
Oh
so
God,
funny.
dude! The
It's so
amount of
funny.
children I've seen making out is higher there than anywhere
Oh,
in
yeah,
life,
dude,
including
there were-
movies.
There were kids like behind bushes
Yeah.
in the like darker
Yeah.
areas, like
Perverts.
crawling out with their pants unbuttoned and stuff. And
Yeah.
like, it's like
Yep.
I'm surrounded by a very horrifying scenario that under
It's
normal
so funny.
circumstances would be very dangerous for me to be in.
Would you say, Steve, like, would you give it 5 out of 5 Peters and an ordinary adventure star, or would you give it?
If we're giving them the ordinary
Dude.
adventures grading.
So,
Why they
Grace-
didn't do Fright Fest?
I think they did. Well, I don't think they've done Fright Fest. No, I know that they've been they stuck with Oogie Boogie, and they did the one in
Bash,
Florida.
the Halloween bash, but they
Um,
didn't do like horror nights or anything.
They've done Horror Nights. They've done both Horror Nights
Also,
in
maybe
Florida
they don't
and
do
in.
knots.
They did do. I believe they didn't. I don't know if they
Oh
did
shit!
knots. I
So
don't know if
maybe
I
they
talked
got
to
a
you
Fright
about knots.
Fest.
Maybe they did knots. But I haven't seen Fright Fest is that Fright Fest is a Six Flags one?
Fright Fest is the Six Flags one. Yep,
Yeah.
it's very good,
Oh,
dude.
how many Steves would you give?
Honestly, dude, out of 5 Steves,
Yeah.
I would
And an
say
ordinary adventure
Six
star.
Flags gets like. I would say Six Flags gets 4 out of 5 Steves with
Nice.
1 ordinary adventures,
Okay.
and Knott's gets 2 out of 5
Ooh,
with
Knott's.
no ordinary adventures.
way down,
Okay.
way down the line. Sorry, Knots. Get out of here.
And
Wow.
Universal didn't even make it. So, but I would,
Wow.
I'm saying, I would say, and there's no way the Six Flags one is like super expensive or anything like that. I can't imagine. Six Flags is kind of like a cheap park in general, right?
Mhm.
Of all
Six
of
Flags
them.
is so thirsty for you that anytime you go to Six Flags and you buy a ticket, they're like, "Hey, that ticket will also let you come in anytime for a year."
You can probably come in. You can come back anytime.
$12. You can come in anytime you want at night too. It's like a gym. Come in at like 2 a.m.
Sorry, we don't have any food because of all the ants. But the Six
Dude.
Flags. When Grace and I went to Six Flags, there's one roller coaster where right at the end, it pulls you when you're going back into the get off the tram, the ride. A gaggle of bees, like so many bees that you go through, and you're surrounded by everyone on the ride's going, "Look at all these bees," and they're everywhere. It's a
And it's
cloud
real
of bees. Real bees, and it drags you through the bees before they
Were
go
people
get
getting
off the ride.
stung? Did you get
No,
did people-
the bees. Bees. They're just chilling most of the time. But
They're
you're
chilling.
like, this is a shit ton of bees.
Whoa,
It's
there's
crazy.
like a hive there, and they don't give a fuck.
Not
No,
at
dude,
all. They
They're
drag
all
you right through 'em.
teenagers. I've never seen an adult
Every one of
working
them
at
is
Six Flags.
every. Dude, Grace was like, "These are children. This whole
That's
park
so
is for
funny, dude. Isn't that kind of scary? That's kind of
I've
It's so
never
scary.
seen an adult working. It's like
Not
children
one
of the
adult.
crazy.
Dude, it's fucking Children of the Corn, and they made a theme park.
Yep.
Like,
That's so funny and true.
ugh, it's Village of the Damned.
All right, well, guys, let us know your hot horror movie hot takes, and if you went to any of the scary Halloween places in your neighborhood, and if those were worth visiting.
Our engagement's gonna skyrocket.
Through the roof. All right, guys. Well, anything else?
No, that was fun. I needed that.
No.
It's good.
Bye. Thanks.
All right, kids, have a good time. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.